Hello, gang. It's me, the ghost of New York City, back with another hot topic. In this breaking news, Jonathan Majors, guilty of assault. What's next for his uncertain fate? I don't know if you guys have been following the Jonathan Majors story. If you have, then this isn't for you. This is for the ones who are not caught up to speed. We bring you the shocking court verdict in the case of Jonathan Majors. After a 3-week trial on December 18th, a jury found Majors guilty of 2 counts: reckless assault in the 3rd degree, a misdemeanor, and harassment in the 2nd degree. This stunning revelation has sent shockwaves across the nation as people await further details and analysis. Throughout the trial, the courtroom was filled with anticipation, with millions closely following every development. From compelling testimonies to the intense interrogation, the evidence presented painted a complex picture of the accused. Now, with the verdict announced, the aftermath is sure to spark intense debate and discussions. Join us as we delve into the details. So let me start by saying, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but you are telling me Jonathan Majors lost everything for running away? Yes, we know Walt Disney may have zero tolerance for bad press, especially domestic violence. I mean, they do represent the kids. But there's got to be more to the story. Let's take a look at how Jonathan Majors' character gets assassinated to build a case against him.
Grace Jabari left court Tuesday after a full day of emotional testimony. On the witness stand, Jabari broke down in tears several times, saying that actor Jonathan Majors controlled her and emotionally abused her throughout their 2-year relationship. Jabari said she and Majors met on the London set of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania in 2021. She testified that just a few months into their relationship, Majors struggled to control his, quote, violent temper and claimed he would throw objects at walls.
What the prosecution is trying to do here is lay out what she claims happened. And also, this wasn't just a one-off where he lost his temper, that there was a pattern of behavior.
Last March, while sitting in the back of an SUV in New York City, Jabari testified she saw a romantic text from another woman on Majors' phone. She told jurors that she grabbed the phone out of Majors' hand and turned away from him, saying, quote, the weight of him on top of me, trying to pry the phone from my fingers. She testified when he was unsuccessful, he pulled my arm behind my back. Using an open hand to demonstrate in court, Jabari said she then felt a hard blow across her head. But Majors' attorney claims that he was the victim in the altercation, saying he was the one who walked away bloodied, running away from Jabari after the alleged incident as she chased after him.
Okay, also, have a look at fans' reaction about the matter. One fan said, and I quote, there wasn't a single black male on the jury that found Jonathan Majors guilty. Ask yourself why that is. We had an all-white jury except one black woman. Multiple pieces of evidence that could have helped Majors was thrown out. This was a politically driven witch hunt. End quote. Another fan took to Twitter and said this, and I quote, this man's career was on the verge of being cemented into Hollywood, and he let a white woman take all of this away. Black successful men should avoid white women at all cost. End quote. Another supporter took to Twitter to say this as well. Quote, Snow bunnied. Majors convicted by jury despite video showing him running from Snow White. End quote. So, for 2 years, Ms. Grace Jabari, you stayed in a relationship when there were red flags? Also, why would you grab someone's personal phone out of their hands? Is that not showing aggression? Now, you don't cost this man everything and a possible 1-year prison sentence. Okay, so let's look at the altercation unfolds. As you see, there is a tussle, but let's hear what attorney Mark Nicholson had to say about what the cab driver, the witness, had to say about the incident.
I'm here to talk about day number 8 of the Jonathan Majors jury trial. And I'm wearing Dr. Strange because he is the master of the mystical arts. And there were some strange things that were going on today. Listen, the prosecution said repeatedly during opening statement that the cab driver who testified today would say that Miss Jabari was thrown into the car like a football. Also, the defense said that he would testify that she was a psycho girl, acting like a psycho girl. That's what they said. Now, jurors are told that defense and prosecution's statements during opening statement and closing argument are not evidence. They're not supposed to consider that as evidence. That is the law. And jurors are instructed on that. So they know this, but you can get in trouble by the jurors if you say things and you don't deliver. And that's what appeared to happen today from the people from the state of New York when they said in their opening that she was thrown in the car like a football. But the statement from the cab driver did not line up with that. It was strange. It was mystical for the defense. The cab driver said that he, Mr. Majors, was not doing anything. Not doing anything. So right there, that blows out the prosecution's case. This is their witness. The witness that was in the car, the driver, the people have been waiting to hear from him. And they actually talked to him like either the day before and had to let the defense know that the things he's saying are exculpatory, or Brady, the Supreme Court case, Brady versus Maryland, that talks about the prosecution has to disclose exculpatory, favorable evidence to the defense. The prosecution asked him, did he see Miss Jabari get hit by the defendant? And he said that she was doing everything. Once again, apparently really not what the prosecutor expected to happen with this man's testimony. Stunning. He was asked, once again, did you see the defendant hit Miss Jabari? And the driver said many things were happening, and I had the feeling the girl hit the boy. He said he had the feeling the girl hit the boy. Now, the judge, on several occasions, had to admonish the witness, had to remind him that he's only allowed to testify to what is happening, what he actually saw, what he actually witnessed. That's what witnesses are supposed to do, not speculate on what they think happened or innuendo.
No one paid attention to his testimony. This whole court case just seems weird. Weeks earlier, the 34-year-old actor had co-presented an award at the 95th Oscars with his Creed III co-star, Michael B. Jordan.
Hey, Auntie, we love you.
I mean, he was getting rave reviews for his turn as Marvel's major new villain Kang, following his debut in Ant-Man Wasp 2. Things were looking up for Jonathan Majors. Let's look at comedian Corey Holcomb's response.
Who made this happen? It's a Stephen A. Smith type nigga. Mm-hmm. That's who I'm getting at.
It's a brother.
They hire niggas now to prosecute niggas, to talk, like Stephen A. Smith talk about black men on TV. Yeah. But with Giddy, it's like, oh, you don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Listen, this is what you need to know about this case. The woman got arrested. They don't even arrest women, especially.
Talking about that guy?
Hold on. I think that's him. Mm-hmm. What's the name?
Alvin Bragg. Manhattan's first black district attorney. I don't know now. He's just one of them.
Yeah, no, that's him.
Manhattan's first black district attorney.
Put there just like Obama was put there. Under Obama, they wrote a whole bunch of laws to hang people. Under Stephen A. Smith, you could talk about black men on ESPN, but everybody else gets due process, or they his friend.
Wow.
Now, they hiring these sellout Negroes to be in charge of offices. Let me tell you what's happened in this case.
I don't like his look.
The Caucasian woman in question got arrested. They don't arrest Caucasian women on motherfucking battery and all that shit. They arrested her. The officers came and arrested her. This is what you need to know about that Jonathan Majors case.
What are you talking about? When she was drunk, lean, and like knocked out in his own closet.
They showed the bitch, they got video of the bitch chasing him down the street.
That was ridiculous. Right. I was like, okay, good. He's out.
This is what you need to know about this case.
I'm like, how you hurt and you chasing that man?
And it's so terrible when you think about it, but it's just you need to know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
None of the evidence against the woman was allowed in the courtroom.
Jesus.
None of the evidence they had showing what she did was allowed in the courtroom. They said, we don't care what she did. Even though she got arrested, they didn't want to prosecute her. What the fuck kind of world is this? You know what they called her? The survivor. They was calling the bitch the survivor in the courtroom. This bitch was dancing, wound up drunk where Jonathan Majors was supposed to be, so he went and got a hotel because he didn't want no drama.
See, he did stay away from you, right?
He didn't want no drama, and they found him guilty. Anybody who been through the court system, you ain't surprised. You already know what the court system is. Court system hang you, dog. If you got money, you normally can beat it. But if you in the courtroom, hope Brother Majors is listening to this. If you in the courtroom and you was fucking a Caucasian woman, motherfucker, you ain't got no rights. Them motherfuckers gonna hang your ass. They don't even pursue these types of cases. It was a misdemeanor.
Yes, and do you know what this is what I believe.
They said, we don't give a fuck what evidence you got on this bitch. We using this evidence against him, and we gonna motherfucking make it what we want to make it. And a nigga was in charge of the shit happening.
And I think that when she purposely saved those, but when they played those messages that he left her or that she recorded in his apartment, that didn't help. Even though, to me, it was like, okay, well, that shouldn't have anything to do with what happened that night. However, I think that's what they're using against him. Did you hear those ones where he was talking about how she needed to be like this? They didn't like that.
Do you really go, baby? Do you really?
Yes.
Then how dare you come home drunk and disturb the peace of our house when we have a plan?
He then tells Jabari that she needs to emulate two iconic women.
Coretta Scott King. You know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife. Michelle Obama. Barack Obama's wife.
I know, I'm not, I shouldn't have gone out. I'm sorry.
A great man. A great man. I am doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture and for the world. That is actually the position I'm in.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? Remember when he was saying, you need to be, if you're going to be down with me, I didn't find anything too tough about the messages that he was leaving or he was telling her. She was just crying, okay. And he was like, if you're going to be down with this, you got to be like this. You got to be in position like this.
Let me give you the game.
They didn't like to hear that.
Now that dude who you said, he black, right? But guess what?
What?
The jury was all Caucasian. Except for one black lady. And you ought to see what she had to say when they asked her about the jury, about the verdict. She did this. Yes.
Oh, they broke her down. Dang it.
Okay, so let me start off by saying this. As I put everything together, in my opinion, I personally don't condone any domestic violence of no sort. Jonathan Majors did nothing wrong with what was presented to us, the camera views. Okay? You can argue he may have a temper, and all these things that happened behind the scenes that Ms. Grace Jabari allegedly accused Jonathan Majors of. We can't argue the fact that it did or didn't happen. We are speaking about what was present to us as we view him running away. This woman continued a relationship with Jonathan Majors for 2 whole years, knowing there were red flags but refused to leave. Yes, you can argue in most cases of domestic, a person may feel scared to go to the authorities, but in the video where you saw Ms. Grace Jabari chasing Jonathan Majors for 2 whole blocks, doesn't show me a woman who is scared she wanted all the smoke. Okay. He forced her back in the car. There is no camera angle inside the car to show if that push was from Ms. Grace Jabari grabbing Jonathan Majors, and he had to use force to get away. But what the camera does show is Jonathan Majors running away from Ms. Grace Jabari, and it clearly shows no form of aggression. But man, let us know what you guys think about this whole matter. Leave your thoughts in the comments section. I see you guys are watching, but let's get those up. Hit that like button so we can continue to give you play-by-play with these hot topics. I'm Ghost.